How strong is Dragon Ball Magic's Goku going to be as a kid? Let me know your predictions in the comment section below, how powerful you think he's going to be. Also, today's like goal is 1,000 likes. Hit the like button and let me know, and you're gonna get a cookie. With the official announcement of Dragon Ball Magic literally right around the corner, everyone's theorizing not only how Dragon Ball Magic as a TV show is going to push Goku's character forward, but how it's gonna connect us to the end of Z. But there is one burning question in everyone's mind, and there is a connection that people are making that you guys may be remembering wrong. So the question that everyone's asking themselves is, how powerful is Kid Goku in Dragon Ball Magic? Is he going to be at the level that he was at the end of Dragon Ball Super Superhero, or is he going to get weaker because he was wished down to be a kid? This is a real question because in Dragon Ball GT, there are instances where being a kid, having a child-sized body is sort of a detriment to the power of Goku and some of his transformations and how he fights different opponents. It's honestly really hard to calculate it all because we don't know anything about this show. Hell, at this point in time of the making of this video, we don't even know if Dragon Ball Magic is going to be the show that comes out. We don't even know if that's going to be the name. All we know are the leaks of Goku turning into a kid with the Supreme Kai. But with that being said, and Dragon Ball Magic seeming to be almost like a new age version of Dragon Ball GT, on top of the fact that it is the 40th anniversary of Dragon Ball, and with a lot of the inspiration from the Magic show and its storylines and situations seemingly coming from Dragon Ball GT, it's honestly not so difficult to see exactly which direction they're going to be going with when it comes to Dragon Ball Magic's Goku. So when discussing Dragon Ball GT, everybody is under the assumption that Goku gets weaker when he gets smaller. And I mean, I understand the logic behind it, but that's just not how the show has played out. Now, granted, there are certain cases and certain instances in Dragon Ball GT where Goku, he ends up not being able to hold certain transformations for long periods of time, specifically Super Saiyan 3, because he loses stamina quickly because of his body, because he's a child. That's really the only hindrance to his power at all, because in Dragon Ball GT, Goku is actually far stronger than he ever was in Dragon Ball Z as a kid. And I don't think it's because he was a kid, I think it's because of the time skip that happens between Z and GT, but there is a huge power gap that is between these two time periods. Goku faces off against General Rudo, and he, in his base, is able to hold him off, a character that has been projected to be as strong as Majin Buu, meaning that Goku at this point in time is thousands of times stronger than he was back in Dragon Ball Z, and quite possibly he could be holding the power of Super Saiyan 3 in base form in Dragon Ball GT. So if Goku is that powerful in his base form, and he is basically, as GT Kid Goku, way stronger than almost all the characters in Dragon Ball Z, then that really explains why he has such a hard time, not just because he's a kid, but being able to hold stamina when it comes to the Super Saiyan 3 transformation. Because as you know, even Dragon Ball Super, the higher transformations, they require a lot of stamina. And so it makes sense that because he's so far up there in strength and power, that's why he cannot hold Super Saiyan 3 for very long. That's the reason that he can't even go into Super Saiyan 2 for very long, because it's not the Super Saiyan 2 or the Super Saiyan 3 from Dragon Ball Z. It is Dragon Ball GT's version that is way, way stronger. And I would say that Dragon Ball GT Goku would possibly be stronger than the Super counterparts, only if the counterparts had not gotten the Super Saiyan God Ki in their transformation. So that brings us to Dragon Ball Magic's Goku. How powerful is he going to be? I think that they're going to go a very similar way here. And the reasoning is simple, because they're going to be making a show that is unlike any other show that they've made so far since OG Dragon Ball. It's an adventure show. So the only way to spice up that adventure show is to have villains and warriors and demons that are at high caliber level, where you would need to use certain transformations such as Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue. I do believe that Goku, we're going to be seeing him possibly be dipping into Super Saiyan God a lot more than he has before to try to get a feel for his new body. Maybe they would make it sort of an excuse so we can use that transformation a little bit more. And then when we use Super Saiyan Blue and Ultra Instinct, those transformations are reserved only for like the the truly evil and powerful bad guys. And it also makes sense that you have somebody like the Supreme Kai who's going to be following him in his journey, because the one thing that Goku obviously in this show is going to be weak to is magic. So having somebody like the Supreme Kai who already has an ability to either detect, deflect, or manipulate magic, or even just using certain abilities that kind of fall into that magic category, is going to be a benefit for Goku in the long run. So how powerful is this new Goku? So I personally don't believe that Goku in Dragon Ball Magic is going to be much stronger than Dragon Ball Super's Goku. I do believe that there's going to be some restrictions to how long he can stay in certain transformations, the stamina thing that I mentioned earlier from Dragon Ball GT. But I do think in this instance, they're going to bump up whatever villains are coming against him. They're going to bump those guys up to around his level. That way it's more of a fair fight. That's the reason that he's even there. And I do believe that we're going to be seeing a lot more of a sort of Kid Super Saiyan God type of dynamic. I don't see Ultra Instinct like at all for some reason. I just feel like they've been hiding that transformation and leaving it only for the manga and possibly for the main anime, but we could possibly get that transformation. I'm just thinking that they're gonna lean into that Super Saiyan God a little bit more. But let me know what you guys think. How powerful do you think Goku is going to be in Dragon Ball Magic?